Let's try that. If we must. I know. Let's see what happens. No? Here we go.
Are you just trying to navigate adulthood in a world that still expects you to have it all figured out? Welcome to This Is 50 with your host, Travis Holmes.
So I applied for Papa John's. I did. I applied for Papa John's. And you're like, oh, well, you know, don't you make enough money doing all this shit? Yes, I do make enough money doing all this, but I do have a little bit of idle time on my hands, you know, a little part-time job. I'm not driving. I'm not delivering pizzas. Believe me, I don't want to do that. I want to be in the brick and mortar store. I want to be making the pies and doing the pies. You know, I worked at a restaurant many years ago, and I use that term restaurant very loosely. The place that I worked at was called Gators Dockside. And it was founded by these two brothers in Orlando, Florida, somewhere in Florida. They've got like 13 locations, and they kind of spun off a couple things. And all their main thing is chicken wings. When chicken wings were like hot and famous in the early to late 90s, they made a killing on it. And I was living in Miami, Florida, DJing in strip clubs and stuff. I've told you that many times that I started out as a strip club DJ at one point. And I would travel down to Miami, work 3 days, and then I could travel back to my house up here in Orlando or just stay down there and wait till my next shift started, 3 days later. So I had a lot of idle time on my hands. And, of course, in those 4 days that you're not working, you're spending money. So I was like, well, maybe I'll get a little job being a waiter. And I did that. I worked at Gators Dockside for 30 days, exactly 30 days. And one of the questions when the lady hired me at Gators Dockside in Orlando, Florida. I think that the location I worked at has shut down now by the international airport, the Orlando International Airport over there. She goes, you seem really upbeat, very, likable. Little does she know. She's like, what are you looking for as far as making money here? How much money do you want to make a week? I said, well, at the time, I think this was in 97, 98. I said, if I can walk away with $250 at the end of the week, I'll be just fine. I'll be happy. Just enough to cover. At the time, I was living by myself. My power bill was barely $100, and maybe put some food on the table. That type of stuff. So, 30 days. And like my first week of working there, everyone liked me, you're doing great and stuff. And let's, after work, when we shut down and everything, let's go out to the bar. I'm like, all right, that sounds like great. I like doing that stuff. I like shutting things down and going to another place. So I went to another place. We all went to another bar, and they're buying shots and, double fist and Jaeger bombs, all that stuff. And I'm looking at my tip out that I had left at the end of the night. Working one of the nights there, and I had like $45. And I'm like going, all right, well, if I do this 3 times a week, I'll make $150. Maybe tips will get better. I'll clear $200 a week, which was my goal. So I'm like, well, I'm trying to make new friends at the same time. So I'm sitting there, we're drinking and partying and stuff. My bill comes around, it's like $65 because I bought a little food and stuff. I'm like, damn it, Here's my debit card for the balance, and then I go home basically negative $20. Next night, go to work. I work, lunch or dinner shift, whatever that is, 4 to 9. I make another $57. All right, $57, a little better. And then at the end of the night, all the other waiters and bartenders, we're going over to, Crickets, and we're going to shoot some pool and drink some beer. I'm like, all right. Sure enough, my tab comes around. It's like $48, $30, something like that. And I'm like going, how the hell do you guys make how do you support yourself? How do you, whatever I make here, I'm turning around and spending at this place. This is ridiculous. So my last night at Gators Dockside, I'll get to the Papa John's here in just one sec. But the final straw was the way that they did the billing when you're a waiter at Gators Dockside. They said, You keep all the money in your, portfolio thing, your little envelope thing. And at the end of the night, we add up all your tabs. All that money comes out of whatever you've got. And then whatever's left, that's what you get. All right. So the closing manager, the one that wasn't, one of the managers that wasn't stooping the other bartenders, I'm sitting there, his name was Keith. Teeth are all rotten out. Coolest bartender or coolest manager that I've had in a long time. Teeth are all rotten out though. He goes, okay, you've got all your money, and I get this huge pile of money, and your eyes get big. When you're, late 20s, and you got a pile of money this big, and you're sitting there, and you're like going, all right, man, this is like $500. If I could walk away, with half of this, I'd be happy. So then Keith goes, okay, let me tally up all your sales for today. Your total sales is $449. And I go, okay. So you start counting it out, and that stack that's this thick starts getting smaller. And at that point, I literally, whatever I had left in my hand, if you're watching this here on the YouTube video, whatever I had left in my hand, I kind of folded it over, and I looked at Keith, and I go, Keith, if I do not have $100 in my hand, this will be my last night here. I said, when I got hired here, the other manager, who was fucking one of the bartenders, the male bartenders, said that I could make anywhere from $200 to $250 part-time here. I said, if I don't have $100 in my hand, I'm done. I'm out of here. He goes, okay, let's see it. And we're sitting in the office, and the office is no bigger than a fucking bathroom. Your knees are clicking on each other. They saved the square footage for the restaurant, so you're sitting in this small little office with a computer screen, one of those CRT computer screens. You bumping knees and shit, and there's a safe and all. And so I unfold the bills, and I've got them large to small, and I fan them out in front of them like playing cards. And I go, count that for me. And in my hand, I probably had 2 20s, a 5, and like 3 1s. And he goes, oh, that looks like 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Looks like $100 in your hand there, Travis. And I go, looks like about $48. I said, I folded the money in half, stuck it in my back pocket, and I said, go fuck yourself, and walked out. Next night, I'm getting phone calls. Hey, are you coming to your shift? Did you not hear what I said? Did you not hear all the stuff that I said about me not coming back? And if I'm not making X amount of dollars, I need to survive. I can't go out and make this money and then turn around and go out drinking with all the buddies and stuff to make good friends, to make good tips. Is that what they call networking? No, I couldn't do it. But now I wanted to. There's a guy who's expired. Hope he doesn't expire. He's funny. Has inspired me on TikTok. And he goes by I think the tagline is Dotoli, like dough, the word dough, and then TOIL. And you've seen him. He's every time he makes a pizza, it always looks good. And what time am I at? I know I was rambling. Yeah, let me take a quick little break. I'm gonna take a quick little break, and I'll dive in that story and how he's inspired me to get a job at Papa John's. So stick around. I'll be right back. Many years ago, I say many years ago, before this show started, the This Is 50 show, we are now getting into a year and a half. We're right at the halfway mark here. So this will be 18 months we've been doing the show. You've heard a bunch of other people that have been on the show. They've come and gone. I don't want to say they couldn't hang, but they had their own personal things that they had to deal and go with that they couldn't do the show. Well, that's fine. So I do the show mainly for myself. This is my therapy. This is my stuff like this. I really can't talk to my wife without her, excuse me, without her passing judgment on me. I deal with a lot of issues, and this just helps me. And you guys out there giving me the feedback as well helps me. I don't have to worry about sleeping with you. I have to worry about sleeping with my wife. So if I can keep this mindset away from my personal life, it helps me. It's like going to a therapist, and you guys are my doctors for the most part. But many years ago, I know I'm still fighting this ick here. many years ago, I had a good friend of mine that I worked with at Home Depot, and he was the epitome of America. Right wing, no gays, guns, meat and potato type guy. And I was doing another podcast, and so they're on that podcast feed. And he came across one of my liberal friends. Everything's cool, man. Everyone needs to help each other out. Peace, love, harmony, and the world just needs to get along with everyone. That type of stuff. So on my feed, they start fighting back and forth. Well, this was happening, and this is, I think, before Trump took over and Obama was still in office. This is how long ago this was. So what is that, 2008, 2010? I lost track of time. But so they're literally fighting on my feed and trying to pull me in it. And I'm like going, look, man, you guys, this is your beef. This is between the two of you. And they're like going, the right-wing guy goes, I can't believe you would have friends like this, Travis. And the other guy was like going, how are you going to let this guy talk to me on your page, Travis? And, it was that type thing. And, well, did you know that this and, government based for this and, homeless people and blah, 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 blah. At the end of it, the gentleman by the name of Brandon, I'm going to say that he's the liberal guy, his name was Brandon. He said, hey, Trav, I appreciate all your views and everything. He goes, but I thought we could be friends. Maybe in the real life we could hang out because, of course, just having a podcast show, you get people that are in other areas and you don't get to hang out with them and stuff. And he goes, I think that our friendship is going to have to end here. Now, he didn't block me on Facebook. He didn't do anything. I didn't block him because I found something, a lot of his arguments were legit. I can understand, his side of the point, and I could see the right-wing guy. His name was Trevor. Which, don't call me Trevor, but his name was Trevor. So you had Trevor and Brandon literally fighting each other. And Trevor, to this day, is gone. He's blocked me, and I'm conservative for the most part, little in the middle, but mostly conservative. And I wasn't conservative for him because when you do a radio show, you have to understand that people's opinions and stuff come from all different directions, and you've got to accept those opinions. And he had a problem with me accepting and listening to other sides of people's arguments. So I lost him. I don't know when he fell off or what happened, but he's gone. Brandon, I didn't know, in the background was still, part of the whole collective that was the Facebook page. Don't really hear anything from him, don't see anything from him, but he posted something yesterday, 2 days ago, make up someday this week. He said, I'd like to thank everyone out there for all their support and help and believing in me. Now, I haven't talked to him since the Obama era. This is Brandon, the liberal. He goes, I know I was going through hard times and dealing with issues and self-demons and all this stuff. And I think at the time during the Obama era, he was like a welder, or he was doing like major construction work, like, really, really blue collar type work. He continues with his post on Facebook and saying, I worked long and hard, and after 6 months of working a steady job and getting my act together, I have now been promoted to team leader. And he shows the certificates. So proud of these certificates. I get a little choked up. I was proud of him because what he had done is he had gotten his shit together, got a job at one of the only places that would probably hire him, McDonald's. Worked for 6 months straight, busting his ass. I don't think he's got kids or anything. I don't know. It's been, however many years now. Busted his ass and was so proud to tell everyone that he got promoted to shift leader at his store within 6 months. Now, I don't want to take anything away from him. A lot of people out there can go, well, if you work there long enough, they'll give you whatever positions open above you, and you just kind of creep up the ladder just by default. I don't want to say that because I believe wholeheartedly the way he was so passionate about the arguments and stuff that he had with Trevor, that he realized his whatever his shortcomings, got help, started over with one company that you know is always going to be there, and got a job at McDonald's. I don't know, what location he's sitting at, and posted, his certified that he's a team leader. And I said, you know what? And I reached out to him and I said, you know what? Basically regurgitating what I said to you. I said, I'm so proud of you, man. I said, I knew there was something in you. I don't know what it was. We've never met in real life, other than like chit chat and stuff on Facebook and a couple of text messages and things of that nature. And he goes, I appreciate it, man. He goes, I thought you forgot about me. I want to apologize. He's like, I've learned so much, and on down the road. So I just wanted to say that really inspired. I don't want to say I inspired him, because I'm a tick on a fucking on a world of hate that he's already been through. But he inspired me to just go, you know what? That's cool, man. That's cool that you've done that. And one of the reasons why I bring that up is because I'm sitting here with a little bit of idle time on my hands, and not that I'm going to be some kind of manager or anything. I've been watching this guy on TikTok. His name's like Dotoily. I can't even say it right. It's dough, like the word dough, and then Toili. And everyone that he does, he's making a pizza. And he's not just making a pizza. He's got the camera, and he goes, and he shows him rolling out the dough, and he shows him doing all this stuff. He incorporates not every pizza, but when he does a video, every pizza that he makes, he incorporates it to something like a life learning lesson. One of the things he goes, some people don't like pineapple on their pizza, and he's rolling it out and he's like, but everyone's not the same in this world, and you have to understand that. And it's just like, and he pours a cup of cheese on it. He goes, it's just like that second cup of cheese, and he pours a second cup of cheese on there. He goes, everyone has different tastes, but in the long run, and he goes, going in the oven, when it comes out, he goes, when it all in the long run, everything forms together to make a perfect pie, to make a perfect society, to make a perfect community. So, he cuts the pizza, and he goes, here's the pepper, here's our garlic sauce. He goes, right before he closes the lid, if you're watching me on the YouTube video, he holds the lid up, shows the pizza, and he goes, Papa John's, pineapple, bacon, pepperoni, and blah, blah, blah. Just another way that Papa John's doing it better. And he closes the lid. And I must have watched maybe 50 of these stupid things, and I got inspired. I'm like, man, that seems like a really, really, maybe that's the answer to the world. Making pizza and looking at pizza and making it, incorporate everyone into one little round little circle. Because the circle's kind of like the planet, right? Everyone gets along in there and everyone tastes good. What's in there? So I applied for Papa John's. And then I got into the actual website as far as applying. It goes, can you work, Monday through Friday? Well, I can do this day and this day and this day. How many hours do you want to work? I don't know, 15, 2-3 days. And it goes, can you work on holidays? And I put yes. And then it said, what holidays can't you work? And I'm like, that's not making sense. So I kind of bailed out of I bailed out of the application. But it was asking me questions that didn't make sense. And I was like going, all right, come on, guys. I want to work. Can I just walk into a store and fill out what happened to the old paper application? No, everyone's got to be equal across the board. You can't have a friend that works in there, or can you? I don't know. So that was just my little inspiration from Brandon, who worked his way up through to be a team leader after going through, I don't know what his background, what he actually got into, but he admitted that he had some problems, some issues that he was going through. And in the same sense, I wanted to be inspired and inspirational by going to a job, and maybe I can share some knowledge outside of this show right here. But I just thought it was interesting that those two things kind of, maybe Brandon inspired me through the video at the same time. So I don't know. Let's see. What am I going to talk about? Oh, let's see. Oh, I want to talk about someone. Here's another issue that I have. Someone that is profiting off the unbeing or unwell-being of others, and I makes me kind of sick, and I want to know what your feelings are on it. So I'm going to talk about that when we come back. Stick around. I'll be right back. Every Friday, like today, and we broadcast every Friday starting at actually 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. We have a video for the podcast. We have a whole bunch of. I'm stopped doing TikTok videos. I'll trickle some in there, but most of the little short length videos and stuff, I find that YouTube does a better job at getting the message out there rather than TikTok. When I found out, first of all, there's a TikTok office, and there literally is someone in the main hub that watches your video, and they literally swipe left or right. And if you get swiped left, then your video makes like one view. But if they swipe right, it pushes it to your friends list. And then if your friends start swiping it, and then it's a whole pebble rolling down a mountain type deal. So there's people out there that are determining whether you are viral or not. So I kind of don't like that. I'd like the audience just to be their own. So I find more success over on the YouTube channel, the This Is 50 YouTube channel, and I'm larger response and a lot more interaction with people. And anyone who posts something, comments on the videos and stuff, I answer them right away. You're a dummy, and I go, well, thank you very much, and here's the rest of the story type deal. And they go, oh my God, you're so cool. I didn't think you would reach out to me. No, see, they just kind of want to get your attention, and then you get my attention, and I do respond. It's me in real time. I no lie. But every Friday I go grocery shopping for the house. Friday's the only real day I got outside of this is kind of downtime. And so I go grocery shopping, and before I go, my wife, she tries to eat as healthy as she can. You get me strawberries, get me grapes, get me bananas, get me some boneless chicken, get me, salad stuff and all this stuff. And then she'll make like 3 meals for the week, and then half of the shit goes bad. I try to eat it. I try to eat it as much as I can, even if it's garbage. She made a took chicken breast, diced it, cubed it up, put it in a pan. It was called some kind of like a flat sheet something. Put Brussels sprouts in there. I don't mind Brussels sprouts. And then put apples in it, and then did like a balsamic glaze over the top of it. And you're supposed to eat it in, by itself or in a wrap or something like that. So I took I was eating it, and she's like, it didn't turn out good. I don't like it. I'm like, well, we spent all this money on this food. We have to eat it. No. I'll just get something on the way to work. No, babe. You don't understand. We have a budget. So I do a lot of sacrifice eating. A lot. My wife doesn't. I mean, she does understand it, but for the most part, I'm like, so it's a battle back and forth. She's not one for leftovers. That's the main thing, I guess, where I'm going with this. She is not one for leftovers. It took me many, many years for her to get her to make a one big dish meal that we can eat for 4 days. I'm tired of this. I want something else. I want, pizza. I want a McDonald's sandwich or something like that. I'm like, oh God, it's expensive. It's expensive, babe. But one thing that is expensive, and this is another story as far as a Facebook friend, third party type deal, is having a baby. There's a couple that I came across, third party type friendship. Oh, they look like they're kind of cool. They got tattoos and stuff, and they listen to, cool music or whatever. And they were really, really open, married couple. And they were one of those people that they've been through some shit. And so their Facebook page is, her and his name. They don't have their own Facebook page. You're not going to cheat on me. I'm not going to, cheat. You're going to cheat on me type deal. They were both recovering addicts. Both of them. I don't know what their drug of choice was. I don't know, what issues they got into, but they always preached God. of course, when you're on knocking on death's door, God's the only one you turn to. And then they also preached sobriety. As I take a sip of my beer here. Hey, some people can handle it, some people cannot handle it. Obviously, they could handle it, and they did it. Now, the couple is married, and they would post stuff together, and the grace of God would let us be here together. And when you look at this two couple, I mean, the tattoos are okay. They didn't spend a whole lot of money on their tattoos. They're okay. They're some color. There's some, detail and stuff. He's a little skinny white guy. She probably was really skinny at one time, and now she's not doing drugs, so she's kind of, getting a little thick. You know what I mean? And they've been a friend of mine on Facebook for, 4 years, 5 years now, and always, not religiously, pardon the pun, preaching about their sobriety or anything, but they'll post something like, oh, we went out to the mall and got some ice cream. Isn't it great to do this and blah, 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 hashtag sobriety. So I'm like, all right, cool. If they're doing good, I don't have to worry about them. They're on about their day. I know everyone out there listening, I'm not going to be his friend on Facebook now. No, really. We have a Facebook feed. Make sure you join us over there. This is 50. You can learn all about all these people. No, you're going to talk about me. I'm not talking about you. This is another Facebook page that I got like 8 of them, 6 or 8 of them I got. So then I see something that we have an announcement to make. We have an announcement. Sarah's pregnant. Great. You kind of go, are you ready to bring a child into this world? Are you two emotionally and dependently ready to do this? And the scene that pops up in my mind is there was a Sandra Bullock movie called 28 Days. And the one guy, he was in Dodgeball. He was like, I'm the pirate. Arr. I forget his name. He's on Alien Resident or something like that too. He was in that movie as a young man, and his question was, the whole movie is about recovery, 28 days. And the question that he asked the counselor was, when can I start dating? And they said, the counselor basically in a condensed version says, get a house plant. If that house plant lives for a year, after that year, then you can start dating. So the movie goes on. I'm not going to spoil it. He gets a plant. He's like, I'm never going to get laid. This plant's going to die. I'm going to be single all my life. So back to Sara and Brent. They got married, and sobriety, and now they're pregnant with a child. So I think back in my head about have a plant first if it lives, and you can go on from there. So they had a child. Now, I don't know how bad their addiction was or how long they were doing it. Technically, they're sober. Having a child, the child came out premature. The child was one of those, 3 ounces, barely a baby. Or 3 ounces. It's like the bottom of this beer can right here. Like 3 pounds, 4 ounces. Very, very small baby, child. Preemie. So they got him in that incubator, that glass thing and stuff. Then all of a sudden I see it's just her posting on Facebook. And I'm like going, all right. So, the child's got to go through, medical procedures and, feeding tube in the nose and all this horrible, horrific stuff for a preemie being born to these recovering addicts. Then I catch him on his own Facebook page. And I see that he has over 7,000 followers. Brent is by himself. And then his wife, Sarah's got her own page. She's only got like 1,000 followers. What Brent had done was branched off from the Sara and Brent, machine that was their Facebook page. And Brent has branched off. They're still together. They're still praising that baby. They're still doing everything that they possibly can to help make sure that baby gets everything and raises that baby, at the best they can to give it all the, whatever for a preemie. I don't know. I've never been a preemie before, or had to deal with one. But what he's done is he's made his page a subscription. Now he posts like little, I'm off to work today. This is what's going on and blah, blah, blah. If you want to see videos of the child, first day crying, first day's eyes open, make sure you subscribe. And I'm like, okay, hold on a minute. I don't know how I feel about that. Do I feel bad or do I feel angry that, hey, look, you two were doing so well. You had a child, and now you're trying to, quote unquote, make money off the child. Well, Travis, everyone tries to make money off their child. Yes, I understand that. There's sitcom and movies and documentaries and all that stuff about people trying to make money off their kids. I guess when it happens, not in your backyard, but when it happens to, two people, now they're trying to make money on it. And I actually reached out to him. I'm like going, hey man, he has something for like money for Infamil or something like that, or I don't know. He asked for money or something. And I'm like, are you not getting enough from your subscription page? Which I think, in my opinion, is sick that you're trying to make money off your premature daughter, baby. I don't know, boy or girl. And he's like, no, it's just to keep hackers and stuff out of our website or out of our space. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that, of you making, a novelty out of your child that's basically holding on for dear life, and you're trying to make a buck on the side. I don't know, bud. I don't know at all. I'd like to hear your opinions about that. And the way you can do that is go over to Facebook, if you dare, and just follow us over on Facebook. This is 50. When we come back, I'm going to talk about St. Jude as far as like kids and stuff. And I think I'm over that as well. So stick around. I'll talk about that when we come back. I was watching an interview with Bill Hader the other day. If you don't know who Bill Hader is, he was on Saturday Night Live for a while. He's also in that, I think it's a HBO Max series, Barry, which I still need to watch. It sounds good. The premise sounds good, where he's a hitman of some sort, but like an unconventional hitman. Bill Hader's pretty funny. I've seen him in a bunch of stuff. Was he in the, who was it? Hold on. I got to think. I'm trying to think here. Who was in Bostic? I don't think it was Bill Hader. Oh, no, that was, what's his name? So, as I'm watching Bill Hader, and every time I see Bill Hader, he's always got like this 5 o'clock shadow on, which is fine. But I don't know what popped into my mind, and I'm sitting there going, well, this guy's being interviewed by, I forget who he's being interviewed about, whatever, his series that he's got going on. Why didn't he shave? Why didn't he clean himself up? And I think that the guy made a comment saying, oh, looks like you didn't stop by hair and makeup before you came to do my interview. And he just starts laughing. And I remember growing up as a kid, anytime I saw any male figures, whether it was on TV, whether it was in the family, relatives, anytime we went to like church or out to eat or out to wherever, the males, up to a certain age, if you were old enough to grow facial hair, shaved. Always shaved. Everything's clean. If you had a beard, if you had a goatee, everything was nice and clean. Even look back at some of the 70s, the 70s movies that were set in like where the people in the movie had a higher income. So when you see that in movies, and then you see people in movies that are like not clean shaven and stuff, I always looked at them like they were a little bit lower class, like they didn't really take care of themselves. And that transformed into my work experience. You know, when I worked for, right out of high school, I worked for Toys R Us, store manager, clean shaven every day. And it takes a lot, ladies, to shave your face every morning. You have to allot yourself, 5 to 6 to 10 minutes, depending on, the style of you're going for there. My question is, and I'm throwing this out there to you, is when did that stop? When was it okay? Now, granted, for a job interview, well, now I've been a manager at several places and I've seen people come in, but they're dressed for the job. They're laborers. So I'm like, all right, you're good. But if you were to have a guy come in for an executive position, and if he wasn't clean shaven, if he had a little bit of a shadow, if he had a little bit of whatever, that's acceptable. And I'm like, well, when did that all change? And is it through the movies? Movies reflect our lifestyle. So it was just one of those thoughts, those fleeting thoughts in my head. Like, just when I was growing up, I just remember my impression of men of stature. Maybe that's why I'm conservative. Maybe that's why I'm all about, big companies, big money, big spending. That type things, cutting taxes so businesses can grow and expand to hire more people, to create more products, to do better for society. And people who work more and can make more and so on down the line. And everyone, believe it or not, Republicans believe in smaller governments. They give a lot of that back to the state. But when you see people in your workforce and your work area, superiors, yinglings or yearlings or whatever they are below you, you see a little bit more of a clean look on their face rather than, the guy sweeping up the puke from the kids in the cafeteria. He's clean shaven. If you take pride in yourself, it was just a weird thought that I had watching this interview with Bill Hader. I'm like, why wouldn't you just clean yourself up? Now, granted, he's an actor, so he has a certain persona that he has to do, but it was just one of those thoughts that kind of fleed in my head. And as soon as I get done saying this, it'll probably never pop into my head again. No, it's always in the back of my mind. Clean-shaven people are better than, no, because I say they're not better. There's been days where I come up and I'm not shaving and stuff, like the weekend. Like, as soon as I'm done with the show, I won't shave until Monday. I do a show on Monday, I do a show on Wednesday, and I do the show on Friday. In between all those, I'm pretty much clean shaven. Weekend, I'm Chewbacca. In the process of watching this interview with Bill Hader, they had a commercial. I was watching a streaming service, so it's like one of those, I'm not changing the channel because they kind of lock you in. Ad one of two up in the corner, and it's like how long, you got, it's fucking 90 seconds, I gotta wait. The humanity. And sometimes they'll say one of one commercials, and it says 90 seconds. Oh, great, now I gotta sit through a 90-second infomercial about something. One of the commercials that I got locked into watching was for St. Jude. Now, if you don't know what St. Jude is, it is a charitable organization. They only deal with children with cancer and any kind of ailments and things of that nature. Mostly it's cancer, kids with cancer. And, donate now. And they show, it's kind of like that Sarah McLachlan, the, SPACC for animals and stuff. And they show all the dogs trapped in the cage, and you know what? We're gonna die. And it's kind of pulling at your heartstrings, because in the St. Jude commercial that I was watching, that I had to watch for 90 seconds, they had kids that look like they've gone through chemo. They have no eyebrows. They have no hair. They got the black sunken eyeballs like Uncle Fester from the Addams Family. And they're walking around on crutches and they're smiling and they're like, we're going to do it together. And then, it's sad. I'm so happy I'm going to throw a baseball tomorrow. No, you can't, little Timmy, because you can't fucking walk. It shows you the worst case scenario with all these kids and stuff. And I know my father-in-law, my wife's dad, he was a elementary school teacher and then taught middle school. Always been a teacher, and anytime he had a donation for collective of donation, he'd always give to St. Jude. He goes, we have to give back to the children because the children are the future of our world and our country and all this stuff. So he was a big proprietor as far as getting that message out. I agree with him. Give money to those where it goes in good need. But come on, St. Jude, don't. You're pulling on my heartstrings. You're trying to do like what Brent was doing, Sara and Brent, of, our child might not make it. Make sure you subscribe now and you can see little, whatever, eat her first meal and coo and poop and all that other stuff. St. Jude's doing the exact same thing on a larger scale and saying, these children could not be here without your help. Donate to the St. Jude's community, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Now, the reason why I bring this up, it's been a while since I've seen a charitable organization ask for money. And the reason why I say this is because one of the most charitable organization was the Red Cross Blood Bank or whatever it is. And they went through, a couple of years back, a big whole spiel, a shitstorm of the head of the blood bank was making like $4.3 million. It's a charity. How the hell is he making this kind of money? Well, what they were doing was they were taking your blood. Thank you very much. Here's your Shasta and your little cookie. See you later. It's not even a good cookie. It's dry. It's a it's a Hydrox. There you go. I know it came before Oreo, but nobody buys these things. So here we go. We're giving it to you guys. And what they do is they sell the blood to the highest bidder of whatever hospital that wants it. So it's a money-making business. Now, granted, they might do good. I mean, blood banks are always good. But yeah, I think they've recapitulated their whole structure and stuff. Their tier structure as far as how people get paid and what gets paid and stuff. But yeah, they had a big old stink about that. So when I say they had a big old stink about that, now I'm looking at St. Jude, and here's like a commercial for, Jessica was born with whatever type something, blah, blah, blah. And without your donations, she won't be able to live to see 19 years old or 18 or, no, I'm sorry, it's for children. Backtrack those numbers. She won't live to see 8 years old. And I'm like, okay, hold on. These are bold statements that St. Jude is making. I would like to know what the actual recovery for children under the age of 18 having cancer. So I dove into it. And I'm expecting, this really crazy number where, we lost another one. Jessica didn't make it. She didn't make it to 8 years old. And it's because of you guys. If you would have donated more, she might have had that, Betsy Wetsy doll that she wanted this Christmas, but she didn't make it. She didn't make it. And I hope you feel good with yourself. St. Jude Hospital for the Children. That type commercial. So I looked to see what the actual nationwide in the United States, what is the actual recovery percentage of children who are diagnosed with quote unquote cancer. I don't want to say terminal because there's a difference. Operable, curable cancer. The number was 85%. Not bad. Not bad at all, in my opinion. Now you're like, well, what about the other 15% of kids that get the cancer and they end up dying? You know how many kids die that don't have cancer? that are born into this world, 23% die before the age of 18. So, St. Jude, congratulations. You're doing pretty goddamn good. You're saving that group of circle of people. If we could just figure out how not to kill, the other kids, the other 23% that are dying before the age of 18. And most of those are uncontrollable. Accidents, violence, death, murder, that type of stuff. And that's a whole nother book in a story in a Bible somewhere else that if you want to dive into it. St. Jude, I think you're doing good. Say, hey, you know what? Let's make this a success story. Don't show me the kid in the cage with IV stuck to its arm and I just want to go out and play. Show me the success. Show me all that stuff. This commercial that I watched, no success. One kid. I can do it. Thank you, St. Jude. Show me all the other success. If it's a happy story, I'm going to send more. If it's a sad story, you know what? Me paying a power bill and little Jessica getting that one extra bag of IV to help cure the thing that she's got going on, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. Sorry. It's not doing me, especially now that I know 85% of them, of children under the age of 18. Let me clarify that. Under the age of 18 that get diagnosed with cancer or some kind of, not terminal, terminal's bad. That's where you're like going, nope, sorry, you are donezo. But kids that get diagnosed with cancer, leukemia and stuff like that, there are treatments and stuff, and they do survive. 85%. Not a fucking bad number, in my opinion. All right, when we come back, I am going to talk about Pride Month for a little bit. I know, I told you, I'm conservative, but a little bit more towards the right a little bit, and I'll dive into that story when we come back. So stick around. I'll be right back. I had the grand opportunity to tell my dad, who lives with us now. If you guys are falling behind on the shows, I'll just give you an update. My dad lives with us. My mom passed away in February 2.5 years ago. My dad's been with us since then. And part of his, I don't charge him rent or anything. The only thing I charge him for is he buys his own groceries and stuff. If we make a big meal, like my wife makes those big sheet pan dishes, my dad will have some. He'll have one bite and go, I'm not eating this. But we take the power bill. We're on Duke Energy, and what they do is that monthly thing. They give you your average for the month, and spread it out over 12 months. So you always know what your payment's going to be. And then he's got his own internet. He's got his own cable, which is kind of tagged onto ours. I don't know how that works. Because they didn't have to put another line in here. So his internet and cable, and of course they want to slap a phone in there. Oh, if you don't have the phone, how much is the phone? $45 extra. Oh, what if I don't have the phone? Oh, it goes up $65. Makes absolutely no sense. Oh, because it's part of the bonus package. All right, well, I guess we have that. His internet bill, internet, cable, and he's got the high-speed stuff, very, very fast. And the phone, I think, is 200 and out here in the sticks and stuff, it's 200 and I think want to say $55 or $65, and it's gone up. The power bill, when he first moved in for our big, huge mansion that we have here, 3,800 square feet house, one story, I think it was $235, give or take, was the power bill. Now, fast forward to 2 years. Fast forward 2 years. Hold on. Let me go back 2 years. So when he moved in, we took that power bill, which is, let's say $325, make it easy, and we divided it up between three. Technically, my wife and I controlled 2/3 of the power bill. Dad, you own the last third of the power bill. All right, fine, no problem. So his total, quote unquote, if you want to call it rent, his payment to us was to cover his internet and his power bill, his part of the power bill. So it was like $320 or something like that, $25. It has gone up to, in the last year, gone up to $355. is what we charge my dad now, because the power bill's gone up a little bit. And now his internet, the promotion that he's had, of course, 2 years have gone by. His promotion's gone. But, he still has to have the phone or whatever, some kind of promotional tag that they have on there. And the power bill has gone up $100. So I had to sit there and go to my dad. Dad, outside of me patching your head with that big hole in the top of your head because of the skin graft that he has, and I posted that over on the This Is 50 Facebook page if you want to see that. Dad, we're going to have to increase your payment from $350 to $425. Huh? Why? Well, your internet that you had to have because of your gaming, which you don't do anymore, has gone up, $45, $50, and the power bill has gone up $100. So we'll take the hit, divide $100 between three. We'll take 2/3 of that. You take the last third of it and put that on the power bill or on your rent check if you want to put rent check on there. Well, that seems like a lot of money, Dad. I'm just letting you know. This is what, when I say, hold on. And when I say, Dad, turn the lights off. When you leave a room, the refrigerator, we have a Samsung refrigerator. I got a notice on my phone. The refrigerator door is open. All right. So then I was, trying, all right, Dad, can you shut the refrigerator door? It's open. I left it open? Yeah, it's open. I didn't know that. And I look and it said in 1 week's time, he left that refrigerator door open 66 times. 66 times. I don't even go in the refrigerator 66 times a month. In 1 week, he's left it open 66 times. So there's part of the power bill. There's your $100 right there. And another thing that he just does not fucking understand. We have a huge island. It's 5 foot wide by about 10 to 12 feet long. We have one of those Jet Air dual purpose, dual fuel stoves in the center. Gas on top, electric down below. The gas on top, we have an exhaust vent. You're right in the middle of the four burners. He'll make something. If I don't tell him to put that exhaust fan on, he'll burn like a hamburger or something out there. Or he cooks a lot of hamburgers on the, in a pan. It makes a lot of smoke. Dad, turn the exhaust fan on. You're killing us. And that exhaust and that grease and stuff sticks on the lights all up above and stuff. And he'll turn it on and we'll suck everything out. And then an hour or two later, I'll come back. It's still. Meanwhile, the AC's pumping. So guess what? That AC is going right out the. Dad, turn the fucking exhaust. Why? It's not. You're sucking the AC out of the house. How is it sucking the AC out? Dad, the exhaust fan takes the AC out of the house. If you take a shit in your bathroom, Dad, on your side of the house, the west wing of the house, and you leave that exhaust fan on, the AC comes from because we have a big crawl space underneath the house, the AC comes from the floor. The exhaust fan blows it outside. So if you're just basically running, you might as well just run a tube from the vent on the floor to the exhaust fan up top. You're defeating the purpose, Dad. You're defeating the goddamn purpose. I don't know what you mean. I know you don't know what you mean. I know. Because Mom coddled you and didn't teach you the things that make a household run. I'm sorry to say that, but all right, well, why is the power bill $100 more? Because of this. And another thing, I told you last week that the water pump went out. $2,000 for that. And come to find out, my dad would leave the faucet on. And I don't know if I said this before, but he would leave the faucet on because it's basically to him, it's free water. Oh, you don't have a water bill? I'll just leave the faucet on. But no, the water makes the pump turn on and off and 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 on and off. And on. It didn't, so maybe that's part of the $100. We'll see what happens after that. So we got a new pump in there. I showed him the bill. What's that? $2,000 for the pump, Dad. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, I was hoping you would say, can I help out with that? But I guess you don't see the, writing on the wall. I'm at the camera here. So we'll see. We are wrapping up Pride Month, which, you can see all the memes and stuff that are happening on Facebook, on your feed and stuff. We have one day for Memorial Day, but we have a whole month dedicated to the LGBTQ community. I'm okay with the community, just like everyone else, as long as you don't push it in and try to make me say that yes, I agree with this. It's no different than Christians saying, don't you believe in Jesus? No. Don't you believe that God came down from the heavens and earth and gave his only forgotten son, that who should ever believe in him shall not perish? No, I don't. You mean this fictitious guy that, did all this stuff and walked on water and blood into wine and all this other stuff? No, I don't believe in it. I do believe in being nice to people. I do believe in, not interrupting someone else's life to benefit or to get your beliefs onto them. No, that's called a cult. And so we have Pride Month. When you break it down into I'm going to get a lot of hate for this one. Get ready. Pitchforks and all. When you break it down to its basic essence, as far as what Pride Month is, Pride Month is I don't want to say it's a celebration, but it is a acknowledgement that same-sex people have sex with each other. That's all it is. It's the only thing that we celebrate who you have sex with, who you desire, who do you what's your fancy, what is your I don't want to say freak, who do you want to love and have intercourse with to get your personal satisfaction off on someone else's personal satisfaction, and you happen to be the same sex and everything. It's the only thing that we celebrate that represents that. You can say, okay, Christmas, all right, you got that. Anniversaries, hey, guess what? This is my wife. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary, honey. I love you. I love you too. Everyone goes, hey, those two are stupid. That's it. The Pride Month thing celebrates in its bare, rawest form who you want to have sex with. You want to have sex with, a guy who looks like a girl, who looks like a guy, who looks like a girl. Doesn't matter. That's exactly what Pride Month is. That's why a lot of people are saying, well, everyone's equal. Yes, everyone is equal. Everyone is equal. But when you start pointing out that type of what do you say it? The spectrum of the human behavior, that's kind of weird. To me, that's kind of weird that we celebrate who you find attractive. Have you ever thought about it that way? Well, we want equal rights. You can have all the equal rights you want. You're a human. You are obligated for human rights. It's the first, the Ten Commandments. I say Ten Commandments. The Bill of Rights is the rights that you are allowed to have. Essentially, it's a regurgitation of the Ten Commandments. As a human. And of course, women's rights came around. We have women's rights and stuff. Yeah, that's fine because they're women. They're a little different. Well, what about I'm a gay man? Okay, you're a gay man. Fine. You have all the rights you want. You can still vote. We're not holding gay people back from voting. We're not holding gay people back or the pride community back from getting jobs. We're not holding people back from getting and deserving and qualifying and allowing and all the other words that you want to put in there. We're not. Have you seen someone go, no, we can't hire you, Tony, because you like to suck dick. Sorry, Tony. You cannot work for our company here because you like to touch other men in the butt. No, it's, well, we want more. Of course you want more. Of course you want more. You just want to stand out. You just want to stand out. You want to be spotlight, center of attention. Hello. I think it's ridiculous. I think Pride Month should go away. I think Pride Month should be celebrated on their level. Christians celebrate Christmas for the most part. Now, granted, Christmas is all over the place, but now it's, happy holidays, but there's a good spirit as far as the message behind Christmas. They don't ram jam, Jesus cross, dying, all that stuff. That's found in the church. That's found in your local community. Christmas has become this hallmark card of everyone should get together, love one another type deal. Pride Month is basically saying we're different. We like all that stuff. So I just wanted to throw that out there. That was just my thought. I don't believe in Pride Month. I believe in, yes, you have all the equal rights you want. I don't think we need to celebrate it. I don't think we need to smash, ram, jam it, June in your face. Hey, guess what? This is what we got. That we are here and we are queer and we're here to stay. Yes, we know that. And without you, we wouldn't have Broadway. Without you, we wouldn't have Sequins. The Sequins company would go out of business. We understand that. There is a place for you in our community. We just don't need to celebrate it for a whole month. That's all. That's all. And on the same sense, I think Black History Month needs to go away. I think that we can acknowledge it. All these months of celebrating different religions and different, people and different... We just need to do away with all that stuff. We're humans. We are supposed to get all along. Well, what about culture? You don't know about our culture? If I want to know, I'll go do it. I'll go find out about it. I'll take a class at Valencia, at a community college. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't bother me. If it does in your business, by all means, go find out about it. Go learn about it. Hey, did you hear about the alien, the blue alien that landed? He got hired over in accounting. Oh, really? Yeah. What do we know about him? I don't know. Why don't you go do some research on a blue alien? When I say blue, like from space alien. It's no different than what if that happens? Then we got to have an alien Pride Month or something like that? I don't know. All right, guys. I thank you very much for letting me share my thoughts with you. I'm going to let you get back to doing what you got to do. Okay. See you. Bye.